Michael Gator on the inside. Freddie Alkis on the outside. Then it's Bruce Hewitt and Harry Rice in row number 2. Michael Gator has the edge off the line. He leads the field into turn number 1. Freddie Alkis right on his back bumper. Then it's Hewitt, 31 of Gallup and a 10 of Rice. Bob Potter currently running 6. The 22 of Lloyd Agor running 7. Still early in this 50 lapper. The idea is to be there at the checker, and that's still 48 and a half laps away. Michael Gator really putting on a show with the 21 car. He's had a rather quiet season, only had a couple of opportunities to race. This afternoon taking full advantage as he won the qualifying round earlier in the day. Teddy Christopher catching up with that front pack. Christopher on board the 54 car. Keep in mind, he damaged the car during his qualifying round. It appears they've got it back in shape, and he's running relatively strong here in the early going. 3 laps down and counting. Michael Gator making a runaway at this point. He's got the 21 car out front and is quietly adding to his advantage. Freddie Alkis, on the other hand, watches as the number 31 of Richie Gallup closes in on his back bumper. Gallup still in the rearview mirror of the number 14 car. He has the number 1 of Potter on his back bumper. So the heavy hitters already up there looking to take over control. Gallup goes around the outside. He takes over second from Alkis. Potter following suit. And now the number 1 moves into the 3rd spot. Alkis drops back to 4th, but here comes Floyd Agor in the double deuces. Agor's on the move. Teddy Christopher, Bruce Hewitt, and the 10 of Rice. They're all on their way to the front of the field. They're all looking to catch up with the 21 of Michael Gator, who has opened up a sizable advantage over the 31 of Gallup. Gallup hard on the throttle down that 300-foot long back straightaway. Definitely has the horses under the hood. Whether or not he can keep the car on the racetrack, big question here this afternoon. Bob Potter, the 6-time past champion, running in that 3rd spot. He's been strong all season long. With a little bit of luck, Potter could have been right up there battling for the championship instead of running second behind Pearl. Kind of a year of catch-up. Potter has 3 feature wins, and our champion, Jerry Pearl, ended up with only 2. If Michael Gator's been holding back, he better think twice, as both Richie Gallup and Bob Potter have closed in. Jimmy Smith in the U2 car heads to the infield. You see smoke coming from under the automobile. But he's safely out of harm's way as the passing flag goes out to both the 96 of Gary Culhane and the 22X of Kavitsko. We understand there may be a car on the racetrack dumping something from the car. Preliminary word, the 54 of Teddy Christopher, we checked it out, and we do see something coming out down at turn number 2. So quite possibly they either have too much fuel and it's coming out the overflow, while the cap on the fuel tank is not on properly. We can't quite tell which, but we definitely see some type of liquid coming out from the right side of the 54 car through the turns. We are 13 laps into this 50-lap feature event. Mike Gator is your leader. Now it's become a 4-car battle, as the 21 of Mike Gator being chased down by the 31 of Richie Gallup, the 1 of Potter, and the 22 of Lloyd Agor. But the caution came out for the 03 of Mike Barry, who moved it down in the backstretch. Looks as though we have 14 laps shown as complete, and Teddy Christopher looks to be heading pit side with the 54 cars. Now we see more liquid coming from the right rear of the car. Quite possibly just a quick correction is all that's needed. And he should be back out and picking up at the tail end of the field before we return back to green flag action. Christopher once again returns. Limited Sportsman cars waiting in the pit area for their opportunity at the Speedway. They'll be in a 30-lap feature event here this afternoon. Field being crossed over. This time it's Michael Gator on the inside, Richie Gallup on the outside. Row 2 finds Bob Potter in the 1 car alongside the 22 of Lloyd Agor. Then it's Bruce Hewitt and Harry Rice. Danny Galula Jr. and the 47 of Scott Spaulding. Randy Sayers and Ricky Knapp. Mike Barry and Kavitsko in the 22X. They stack him up in turn 4. A tough break for Richie Gallup. He gets hooked up with Lloyd Agor. They're back in the pack, and that opened the door for Bob Potter as he looks to chase down the 21 of Michael Gaeta. Lloyd Agor running into problems with the 22 car. Stops up in turn number 2. He was involved in that altercation here in turn number 4. Now he looks as though he's headed back for the pit area. Field appears to be correct. Everybody in their proper spot. Clinch green flag going out this time by with 14 down, 36 laps to go. Tighten up on the backstretch, anticipating the green, which we get this time by. Drag race into turn number 1. Michael Gaeta down on the inside, Richie Gallup on the outside. They touch through the turns. That opens the door for the 1 of Potter and the 10 of Rice. Running extremely close through the turns. The open wheels, very vulnerable. The outcome, well, losing a couple of spots, and Richie Gallup will have to pass his way back up. 15 laps in counting. This is a 50-lap feature event, about 20 laps longer than a normal Saturday night race. Potter looking to the outside, feeling the outside lane, maybe the faster of the two. Michael Gaeta running a nice line off that 4th turn, opens the door for Potter on the inside. The drag race up the front straightaway as Gaeta able to hang on. Potter falls back into line on the rear bumper of the 21 car. Harry Rice directly behind the 1 of Potter. Richie Gallup still well within striking distance as Lloyd Agor continues to work his way up from the back of the field. Once again, problems with the 54 car as Teddy Christopher dumping something out of the racetrack off the right rear of the automobile. And Bob Potter gets collected in turn 4 as Danny Galula Jr. goes around along with the 19 of Hewitt. Caution is out with 18 laps completed. No heavy contact. Apparently damage at a minimum, except for the 63 car of Galulu, as the 2 front tires pointing in different directions. We doubt whether or not Richie Galulu will get back out with the 63 car, as he suffered some pretty heavy front end damage in that collision up in turn number 4. Field appears to be set. Pace car is in. Mike Gaeta down on the inside. He's been there from the drop of the get-go. He's ready to go again. Hard on the throttle. They shift him up through the gears, bang a few bumpers. Richie Gallup anxious as he battles on the inside of Harry Rice for the runner-up honors. Mike Gaeta with a little contact through the turns, gets sideways. That opens the door for Harry Rice, and Rice able to take advantage, and he's your new leader off the 4th turn. Contact with Gaeta sends the 10 of Rice to the infield, and Mike Gaeta ends up in the outside wall. The right front tire maybe down on the 21 car, and we're back under caution. A tough break for Harry Rice. He had just taken over command. Contact through the turns, sent the 21 towards the wall. We see the right front tire down on the automobile. He should be heading to the pits to get some new rubber on, and Teddy Christopher also pit side with the 54 car. Clinch green flag once again being shown to the field to tell them to get prepared for the return to action. That finds Harry Rice and Richie Gallup alongside one another in row number 1. Scott Baldy and Lloyd Agor in row 2. Looks to be Randy Sayers and Ricky Knapp in row 3. Bob Potter with car number 1 starting in the 7th spot. Michael Gator will probably start 8th on the outside of that row. 18 laps completed and counting. 32 to go. Green is back out. Once again, Rice out front with the 10 car. Richie Gallup stays alongside as they go through the turns, door handle to door handle. Rice stays tucked down low. Gallup likes that outside lane. Side by side, they exit turn 4, and it looks as though we have a brand new leader at the line as Richie Gallup takes over control with car number 31. Harry Rice falls back in line. Floyd Agor up to 3rd. He's got at least as fast a car as anybody else on the racetrack. Let's see if he can make it pay dividends here in the closing stages. Freddie Christopher back out, seems to have solved his problem with the 54 car. We don't see any liquid coming from the car, but the car is apparently not as quick as it was earlier in the day. Richie Gallup out front, the class of the field at this point at least with car number 31. New aerodynamics evidently paying some dividends. But Gallup always was a very fast driver here at the Speedway, even with the infrequent visits he's made here. With good equipment, a good driver is always good, folks. And this afternoon, Gallup is trying to prove it once again. Bob Potter on his way back up through the field is already back up to 5th with the number 1. He has as fast a car as anybody here on Saturday night. This afternoon, with a few added tricks, he may be just a tick off the clock, but nonetheless, the crafty veteran definitely knows the smart way around. Scott Foley sliding off the speedway in turn number 2. We're at the halfway mark of this 50-lapper. The 47 car goes around, pointing in the wrong direction. It looks as though we're going to hold on lap number 24 as the caution flag being displayed for the 47 of the 1993 Rose Auto Supply rookie winner. Looks as though Ricky Knapp trying to refire the checkerboard 7 car. Freddie Beaver providing the hot rod with an old-fashioned modified motor. Field appears to be reset. Everybody in line? We are 24 laps into this 50-lap feature. Green flag is back out. This time Gallup again, leader of the pack, but he's got the 22 of Agor down on the inside, battling with Rice for the runner-up honors. Rice on the outside, that opens the door for Bob Potter down low. Potter side by side with Rice down the back straightaway. Has the edge through the turns. It looks as though Bob Potter is now back up to the 3rd spot. He was there earlier this afternoon, ran into problems. Had to come from the back of the pack, now finds himself with a strong 3rd place effort. Harry Rice back to the 4th spot. 5th is the 21 of Michael Gator, then it's Teddy Christopher in the 54. Bruce Hewitt running next in line, then it's Randy Sayers, Scott Spaulding, Ricky Knapp, Carl Kravitsko, 14 of Alkis, and the 03 of Mike Barry. That's the way they're running at the present time on the Speedway, not necessarily the way they show up on the scoreboard. Up to this point, Richie Gallup has been the class of the field. Teddy Christopher with mechanical problems has been slowed. He's back in the 6th spot. He's still got plenty of an opportunity to make his way to the front. Floyd Agor, very quiet, very consistently working his way to the front of the field. He's up to the 2nd spot. He's come from the back of the pack as well, but he has Bob Potter to contend with on his back bumper. Harry Rice running in that 4th spot. Michael Gator protecting the inside lane as Teddy Christopher looking for room on the outside. Moose Hewitt now running in that 7th spot, coming on strong once again. As they say, you can't keep a good man down, and Hewitt keeps on coming back. Christopher able to get by the 10 of Rice. He duplicates the task completed earlier by Mike Gator in the 21 car. Gator is up to 4th, Christopher running 5th. Harry Rice is 6th, then it's Hewitt and Randy Sayers. That's the front players at this point, except for the 1, 2, and 3 cars, which are Gallup, Agor, and Potter. Potter all over the back bumper of Floyd Agor, looking for room around the outside, inside, whatever it takes. Less than 18 circuits to go. Mike Barry running into problems with car number 03 is down on the apron. top 3 cars, seasoned veterans in open wheel racing. As Richie Gallup continues to cover the field, although Lloyd Agor and Bob Potter not too far behind and not to be denied. A lot of seasoned veterans on hand this afternoon, mixed in with a few rookies. And as you can see, positions 4, 5, 6, and 7, again, showing a lot of veteran talent. Mike Barry trying to limp the 03 back into the pit area. He's got the car still going in a forward motion, although very slow. Hopefully he'll be able to get it into the infield and out of harm's way without bringing out yet another caution period. 37 laps complete. The 13-lap dash to the checkered flag as Mike Barry limps back into the pit area. Bob Potter looks to the outside of Lloyd Agor. He was close to the outside lane, just couldn't quite make the pass stick. Falls back into line as time now begins to run out. This time by, there'll be just 10 laps to go as Richie Gallup continues out front. Agor in, Potter in hot pursuit. Mike Gator, Teddy Christopher, along with Lieutenant Rice, unable to close in. It looks as though Ricky Knapp losing power underneath the hood of car number 7. He points into the infield and limps his way towards the center, out of harm's way. Richie Gallup showing his strength here in the late going. He's been strong from the drop of the initial green. He's never slowed up on the attack, and he's been out front for quite some time. Lloyd Agor likewise coming from the back of the pack, now applying the pressure to our leader. As Bob Potter once again taking advantage of that outside groove, looks to pull alongside Agor. This one's going to go right down to the checkered flag as we are less than 7 laps away. Gallup watching the battle from his rear view mirror as Agor and Potter continue to battle for the number 2 spot. A little contact on that last circuit. Agor sideways through the turns. You know, everybody's pulling out all the stops. Everybody's looking for the win in the large payday. Bob Potter definitely faster through the turns. Agor has the advantage down the straightaways. Less than 5 to go. Time running out. If anybody's going to make a move, if anybody's been holding back, now's the time to stop to show their hand. Looks as though positions 4, 5, and 6 are closing in on our leaders, folks. Everybody's busy battling by themselves, not paying any attention. But this one could have some effect before it's over. It's Richie Gallup, Lloyd Agor, Bob Potter. 3 run under a blanket as Potter again takes to the outside of Agor in turn number 2. It could be Potter has the idea of going right around everybody on the outside as Agor bombs a bit through the turns, giving Potter room. And we have a new runner-up as Bob Potter up into the 2nd spot. But Hewitt goes around in turn number 4, and that's going to bring out the yellow flag. Ooh, not what Richie Gallup wanted to see, folks. With just 2 short circuits remaining, Hewitt goes around, and that's going to set up a classic confrontation as 2 veterans line up in that front row. Richie Gallup down on the inside. He'll have a 6-time past champion as Bob Potter lines up on the outside. Lloyd Agor, don't count out the 21 of Mike Gator, or the 10 of Harry Rice, or the 54 of Teddy Christopher. With the field being closed up, this one's going to be a shootout right to the final checkered flag, which is just 2 laps away. You got 2/3 of a mile to accomplish the task. Whether or not they can do it, well, only time holds the answer. And Richie Gallup looking for a win here with the 31 car, as is Bob Potter in the 1. Lloyd, well, we got a few fans from New York, but right now, it's time to go racing in the final 2-lap shootout. Gallup gets the edge at the line. Look at Potter. He's got the 22 of Agor down on the inside, but it looks as though Potter would like the outside lane to get a shot at the 31 of Gallup.
Agor back in control of second. Potter now running third. Mike Gainer running fourth. Checkered flag. 2 out this time by as Richie Gallup looks to pick up the win with the Paul's TV sponsored Gremlin. Lloyd Agor settling for the runner-up position. Circle Asphalt Paving, sponsor number 22. And Bob Potter settling for the third position with the Rojo Trucking. CSC Santa Gravel sponsored Chevrolet. And Agor finishing second. Potter in for third. Mike Gainer fourth. Eddie Christopher finishing in the fifth spot. There was Harry Rice, Scott Spaulding, Randy Sayers, Fred Alkus, and Bruce Hewitt.
Well, Richie Gallup, you're not a real stranger here. The car's very familiar. It's got to feel pretty good to take on the hometown boys and beat them on their own turf.
Yeah, it's real good to come back here. I like racing here. It's a real fun place to race at, and these guys are pretty decent to race with. And Dude's team, and they did a great job this afternoon with the car. I mean, they spent some time doing some special stuff, and it really paid off.
Anything in particular you want to share with us other than that nice roof line?
They just did a good job setting up the car period. They worked hard on it, and I got to thank the crew, and I'd like to thank our sponsors, Paul's TV.
Well, don't forget Mash and Tuck and Sand and Gravel. They're there too. Of course, Mash and Tuck is very familiar around here right now. In fact, a lot of their employees are out here with us this afternoon. You know, you must have had quite a view watching Lloyd Agor and Bob Potter battle it out on your back bumper. You were about the only one privileged to be that close.
Yeah, I was more glad I was in front of that deal instead of behind it. I knew they were both there. It was a good race.
You know, Richie Gallup, you're racing here with us this afternoon. How about next season? Any thoughts or any plans for next season? Are they set in concrete or are they still kind of open at this point?
I don't know what I'm doing next week. Never mind next year.
All right, Richie, congratulations. That's putting it pretty honestly, but we'll wait and see what happens as Richie Gallup picks up the third annual Bush Open for the Modified Division.